Okay, now to the latest on New York City's struggle to start the school year. Today wasn't the return anybody really planned for because for most part it wasn't a return at all.
In fact, only pre-kindergarten and some special education students were allowed back into school buildings today. All of the other students, they're learning remotely. News 4's Andrew Siff is live in Elmhurst with the first day's report card. So Andrew, how did the city do?
Well, pretty well from what we're told so far. We don't have official attendance figures, but 90,000 kids were welcomed back. We don't have any reports so far of anyone getting sick. And the teachers union tells us their emergency hotline for when they're short of PPE, they only got a handful of calls. Of course, as you can see here on the fence, got the social distancing markers. These were adhered to as well, and the mayor tells us day one was a safe one. Pre-K students getting an elbow bump from the mayor and a vote of confidence from their teacher.
Wash hands, wash toys, keep distance, do the best we can, and let's see what happens.
That's the philosophy of so many on this first day of school for the nation's largest city, delayed by 2 weeks over COVID concerns.
Everything's being done really smartly in this school.
Mayor de Blasio told me today he's convinced the staffing shortage and ventilation worries raised by principals and teachers this month have been addressed. How confident are you that September 29th will be a go for the higher grades?
I'm very confident, Andrew. We have seen some really good results over the last few days.
But the city's twice delayed opening drew fresh criticism today from Governor Cuomo.
I don't think it's helpful when they change dates and they change the plan, because then there's just a ripple effect, and then people have to readjust their lives, employers have to readjust their schedules, etc.
And talk about an adjustment. More than 450,000 children, 46%, signed up for fully remote learning. The rest, a little more than half, in blended learning, some in classroom and some remote. That includes the Raphael family, who today, instead of sending 2 of their 3 girls to PS6 on the east side, stayed inside. 3 daughters, 3 laptops, 1 Wi-Fi password.
All on Zoom, the same time we had some technology issues, I would say. Wi-Fi upload speed, that's by far the biggest issue we have right here.
I like Zoom and Google Meet a lot, but I'd rather just see my friends and my teachers in person.
So many kids echo that sentiment. We should tell you the Department of Education website where kids log in for their remote learning crashed right at 9 o'clock this morning, but it only lasted for 10 minutes. The chancellor said it was a short-lived glitch. They were right on top of it. They anticipated some tech problems on day one. We're live in Queens. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, Andrew, a very strange year for all hands indeed. There was 1 COVID-19 death in New York State yesterday, just 1, matching the lowest number since the start of this pandemic. And less than 1% of New York's COVID tests were positive. But 2 New Jersey counties are experiencing a surge in COVID cases. As News 4's Brian Thompson reports, that spike is raising concerns.
For a week or more now, the biggest increases in the state have been here in Ocean and neighboring Monmouth counties. At the same time, New Jersey passed a grim milestone today, according to Governor Phil Murphy.
It's now 200,154 since our first case on March 4th.
Mask wearing is still mandated inside businesses statewide, but it's activity elsewhere that has officials worried. No reported cases from this social media gathering in Seaside Heights a week ago, but it was denounced by local and state officials. And now Middletown Mayor Tony Perry.
As America comes back to life, as people go back out eating outside, doing sports, there has to be some reasonable expectation that there's going to be cases.
That happened recently at the Middletown Sports Complex. 13 young hockey players testing positive, some showing symptoms, and contact tracing is getting more difficult. Officials consider it the most effective way to warn people they may be infected.
People are kind of closing down. They're afraid to give out information of their friends, of their co-workers. They feel like if they give it up and people get called, they're kind of like a snitch. And that's not what we're looking for.
That's worrisome to some.
A little bit, yeah, because people are not listening, they're not paying attention.
And yet for others.
Major people that die are over the age of 75 and have underlying conditions. Why is everybody so afraid?
State and local officials say pandemic fatigue is now real.
I would say it's probably real. I mean, you feel it. You kind of talk to your own friends. I have 2 kids of my own, and you can see it with them. They want to be with their friends. They don't want to wear the mask.
But despite the increase in cases in Ocean and Monmouth counties, the state is not ready to say we're in a second wave.
I do not yet see a second wave. I'm always paying attention for the feeling of that undertow that might be suggesting that a wave is coming.
Still, the advice from Middletown Mayor Perry:
don't throw raging parties inside your house.
The state has sent extra contact tracers here to Ocean County, but Governor Murphy says the religious holidays this weekend will delay any information that they're able to get. In Toms River, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.